Okay. I think I got everything working. I'm gonna put down the volume because holy shit is it going up high on my OBS. Welcome on in. We're playing this game called Star Secret in the Secret of the Sorcerous Standoff. Oh, shit, didn't make sure it's on the right thing. Okay, you're good. Game's a little hard to handle. I there's a pronouns part, but every time I go back there, I have to like Alt F4 because I can't get out of it. I think everything is they, them, in terms of their descriptions, which is fine. What's that? Probably just one of the tenants broke something. I'll chew them out in the morning. Hey, it's like loud ass neighbors, just like we have here. What, the alarm? Fire? The fire alarm? Fire? On my property? What was that noise? Sound like Wild Thornberry. Hello? 911? There was a gunshot in my building. And then, I don't know where, the fire alarm's going off. Oh, it's just fireworks, that's all. Send someone, quick. Hold tight, sir. Emergency services are on their way. They better hurry if there's any trouble in my building. Yeah. Getting to knowledge, sir. Don't worry, our people are the best around. If I wasn't awake from my nap, I am now. Ooh, floating island. Star Seeker in the Secret of the Sorcerous Standoff. You, me, calling me at 3 in the morning. What's your problem, man? Boss man. You blind kid? We're the police. There's a dead body right there. Sure, but that's got to be with wizards, right? This is a magic situation? You bring me in as a consultant on legal magic, not as a beat cop. Look at him. Oh, looks dead. Looks wizard, smart Alec. Get an eyeful of this place. Got his wizard robe and hat on. Yeah, looks like the dead guy is probably a wizard. Still, what exactly do you need me for? Something weird with how he died? I'll say. For one thing, there's more than one dead body here. Take a look under the sheet. Gross. We don't know who this guy is, why he got involved with that wizard, or why they're both dead. There's a lot of pieces that don't add up with this case, and I've got more than a probable cause to say magic was involved. So that's it, you're helping out today, whiz kid, unless you want to violate your parole. Jeez, fine old man. Oh, it's kind of like my idea. How about you give me your best guess, your hypothesis about what happened here? Should I make myself smaller? Give me a second. Make myself a little bit smaller. There we go. It's better probably, so I don't end up what's it called? I don't end up like covering too much of the screen. So now I'm over like the text a little bit. I'll use my deductive talents and magical know-how to fill in the blanks, and we'll have this chore done before breakfast. Sounds good. First, what we know for sure, at 2:40 a.m. we received a call from the landlord reporting a fire. According to the caller, the fire started at 2:35 a.m. Evidence, okay? Okay. But before that, the caller heard a gunshot at 2:10 a.m. He ignored it at the time, but it was probably connected to this case somehow. Don't get ahead of yourself, kid. First thing we did was set up a police perimeter and started a search based on the likely escape routes. We still haven't found a suspect. Okay. We arrived at the scene at 2:50 a.m. and after the initial investigation, I called you in. And because you dragged your feet, it's 3:20 a.m. now. Holy shit. 1 hour left from the drugs number. Let's go for 20. Blaze it, baby. Weed it up, man. Let's go. So, what did that initial investigation turn up? You've got some clues for me to work with, right? Listen, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You see those yellow cards? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All the evidence has been labeled and recorded, see? But did you find anything useful? Listen, kid, what is it you think detectives are for? Find clues? Solve crimes? Don't be stupid. A detective's job is to go over the crime scene and pull little yellow cards next to everything so someone else can come by later and put it all in labeled bags. Eh? What? Listen, solving this crime is optional, see? Everyone's dead. Nobody's pressing charges. All I need to do is get everything neat for the books. Then why did you even wake me up at 3 in the morning then? Because getting everything neat for the books means following procedure, if procedure calls for calling in an arcane consultant when magic's involved. Okay, that makes sense. So I'm here as a formality then. Well, are you done briefing the consultant officer? Fellaini? Who's she? Dr. Opalwhiter, forensics, my wife's ex. Here to support the investigation with forensic stuff. I like this to look good, understand? She acts polite, but she'll take any excuse to drag me through the mud. Serious grudge. Oh, you want me to help you look good, Leo? Please. I know we don't quite get along, but talk about office drama. Something in it for me? I'll push to shorten your parole. Just at least pretend to take this seriously, okay? I'll hold you to that, boss man. Excuse me, what are you two muttering about? This is the consultant, right? That's me, Star Seeker, at your service. Leo here was about to brief me on this case. Yes, looks like the guy by the door, whoever he is, died somewhere. I bet dollars to donuts will find cause of death around here somewhere. Probably. Yeah, probably. We've also got a dead wizard, but we don't know what kind of exactly. We'll need to figure out cause of death for him too. We've got some kind of hologram by the door here. Where'd it come from? Oh, hologram. Sometimes the text can be hard to read. Some sort of hocus pocus antics, no doubt. Blasted wizards. None taken. What? Sorry, did you not say no offense? No. Hey! I didn't. That's fair. And there's a suspicious wizard statue sitting there. Don't know where that's from either. Lord knows what that's all about. Is that it? Well, I'm sure. Oh, that wizard statue is probably like a wizard that was like turned into stone, maybe? I'm sure there's more to it. Take a look around and see what you can find. Move around with probably with the arrow keys and press A to inspect stuff and around the crime scene. Right, and B is cancel. I can use start to save or change options. Ellen ought to review it in my head. If you think you got an answer to one of my questions, talk to me to go over the hypothesis. Right, let's get down to business, yeah? I'm pretty sure everything's in this room. It's hey, what's this? It's a bathtub. What, you've never seen a bathtub before? I mean, I thought it might be, but it's covered with a curtain. I was looking underneath and... Hey, watch it. You can't do that. Huh? She's right. No disturbing the evidence. Hands off, remember? No disturbing... What if there's some important clue right under there, though? Yeah, what the fuck? Let me see underneath here. Then you just have to leave it alone, don't you think? What? Are you serious? I can't just move the curtain aside? Look, kid, I'm doing things by the book today. Got it? Nobody's ever gonna find a reason to get me written up. Well, we'll see about that. Now, if you can establish probable cause to look inside, proof this bathtub is, okay, it's concealing important evidence, then that's another story. So I gotta prove there's something important under there before I check whether there's something important under there. That's the long and short of it. You're a smart kid. Get looking. Okay. Hey, here's where the good's at. Hey, it's Fat Albert. Spell books. All that sweet, good knowledge. This ain't a candy store, whiz kid. You're here to investigate a crime, not load up on legal magic. Hey, now, you don't just trust me. I swear I'll just keep to the stuff because that's relevant to the case. You better, Seeker. So let's see. Oh, it's trash. Trash? Yeah, it's all one-on-one stuff. I already know most of this junk, except for all this class-specific stuff. What do you mean class-specific? Like there's 2 big books here, spell books for Go Wizardry and Stop Wizardry. Those spells only work if you're a certain type of wizard. A time wizard? That's what I figured. You guys come in types, right? I mean, not usually. If you take a class, you sacrifice all other magic so you can use spells from the list of class restricted stuff. Interesting. That's So it's pretty good if the dead guy here is one of those types that it means that there's only so many spells he could have used here. Narrows down what we have to worry about, huh? Yeah, but it's worthless to me. Let's see. Let's look at Go. This book is completely baby school. It's only got 3 low-level spells. I guess let's check out. First, we've got Portable Hole. This one's level 1 and warps the space a little and makes holes through the things without damaging them. Okay. Make holes up to 2 meters wide and 4 meters deep. Looks like it lasts until the caster gets more than 6 meters away from the hole or until they end it. Okay. What's next? A reversing rune? That's pretty cool. You draw this symbol on something or stick a sticker with it or something, and then it gets moving and turns around and goes backwards. Like stick it on a car and suddenly it's going against traffic, or stick it on yourself and you're falling and fly into the air. That's cool. That one's a level 1 spell too. What else is there? You gotta be level 2 to cast this last one. It's called Emergency Exit. Some fancy fire magic. Here, it lets you use fire as a portal to teleport through. If you cast it, you're immune to fire for 30 seconds, and you can pop over to any fire within 2 kilometers. Oh, that's cool. So it's like Tree Stride, but with fire. 2 kilometers, God. Hey, why in the search perimeter? The perp might have had a 2 kilometer overhead start. That's right, as many men as you need. Step on it. Oh boy. Type of spells, there's also some diagrams of tattoos you need to be a Go wizard. Interesting. That's it for Go Wizardry. Kind of a lame spellbook, to be honest. One to learn over learn is but not to remember. Okay. Oh. Looks like it worked. They will put me back in the clink if I use unauthorized magic in front of him, but Lightning Bolt Mine doesn't need any words to activate. All I do is press L or R. That's pretty cool. My only thing it affects is my head, so Officer Fellini won't know anything's up. The spell lets me speed up my thoughts. It seems like the whole world stands still. That's really cool. Inside my own head, I can recall any evidence I've gathered and remind myself what I have to work with. The most important thing I know is what I don't know yet. Uncertainty. It can be fun to come up with crazy explanations, but if I'm losing my way, it always helps to make sure I understand the question. Oh, and then there's that thing. I installed that a while ago. It's a lot of a photographic memory thing. But it really only works for the last few things people said. It's just kind of useful if I zone out and miss something important. If I talk to a log, I repeat the last 20 lines of dialogue. Oh, a log. Oh, that's fucking clever. Because if you play like a VN, a lot of VNs have a log, which is like, yeah, the past history of mines. Then there's all the hard facts. I look over the hard crime scene, I collect evidence like this. I can directly to refresh myself on the details. I can hit B to put it in or out of mind. Why would I want to do that? I mean, you've seen the crime scene, right? It's a mess out there. There's bound to be evidence that I just don't need at some point. Things we already figured out the point of, red herrings or enigmas we just can't see to be useful yet. If I turn off the lights with B, that evidence will come to my mind when people ask me questions. Of course, if I'm wrong, some piece of evidence turns out to be important later. You must come back and turn it back on by pressing B. That's all there is to it. Toggle lightning bolt mine by pressing L and R and turn evidence on and off with B. There's actually a really cool way of thinking of doing deduction. Okay, I see. These are the three. This is spells that only a Go wizard would know. Expect evidence to check what I know about it. Press B to turn evidence off. Oh, so that's like the instructions on how to go through this place. The cop who knows stuff. Okay. Stop magic. This is kind of an introductory text. Not much of a high-level stuff here. We've got living memory, a level 1 spell. Projects a static image of a specific moment in time according to how you remembered it. Looks like it's got a duration of 2 hours. That seems like a handy spell to have in general. Then there's a mass arrest momentum. This one's level 1 too. As in it's a level 1. Sheesh. Anyway, this spell is sort of your basic freeze. Anything in the stop wizard sights just sort of stops in time. You can still see stuff and think, though. You can break out if you're strong enough. Strong enough? You gotta pass a constitution saving though. Now that's some D&D stuff right there. If you're beefy enough, or the stop wizard tried to freeze too much, you're just lucky. Bam, spell over, starts moving again. Otherwise, it lasts until the stop wizard decides to end it. Lastly, we got Flesh to Stone. Yikes, this one's level 2. Level what? 2? Level 1? You're doing that on purpose to mess with me. I would never dream of such a thing. Oh, look at him with this fucking shit-eating grin when he says that. Yeah, sure. Whatever. Flesh to Stone lets you turn someone or something into a statue. Pretty nasty stuff. Looks like you can't use it if the target already has a status effect, though. If you try, the spell rebounds on you. Not fun. Okay, so that means the person who's down here, the statue, is either someone who casted it or someone who already had a status effect, or, which is I can see them going with to make it more convoluted, or it's someone who was just a victim of it who didn't have a status effect to begin with. Oh, and apparently you need to be some special tattoos to be a stop wizard. Okay, that's about this book's got. Give me a break. This is kid stuff. Okay. This guy got a statue of another wizard in his lair. It's kind of menacing, doesn't he? Yeah, I'm no fan of the creepy statue. I can't check the feeling it's important to this case, though. I don't see anything interesting about it now. There's a goat. Is this your goat? Of course not. It was here when we arrived. So you don't have a pet goat, is what you're saying? No, Ma! It's like it doesn't agree. But that Ma couldn't mean anything. Why would I don't have time for a goat. You're hurting its feelings. I am not. I'm not affiliated with this animal. Sure. You saw it all, huh? You know exactly what happened. I see. What is it? Did you cast some kind of speak with animal spell? What? No. Goats can't talk. Oh, that's too bad. I was being friendly, Doc. You should try it. I'll pass. Jeez, what's got up you? Okay. Jeez, this guy's almost unrecognizable. Well, except for the ears. Some kind of elephant man? No idea who this guy is, though. I'll make a note of the state of the what's left of the body. Ooh, shit, damn. Huh. Holding an unloaded gun. Okay. Okay. This guy looks familiar. You've probably seen the wanted posters. His name is Slick 'em Up. And he's got 6 counts of armed robbery on his head. And now he's a ghost? Shouldn't you have called the Ghostbusters aren't real, Seeker? I ain't afraid of no ghosts. They're real in my heart. Me too. And anyway, no, this is some kind of hologram or something. You're the wizard. Figure it out. But yeah, I've heard something about these. It's like the living memory one. Yep. I should talk to Leo and see if I can draw a connection. Oh, wait, hold on. That looks like... Jeez, what a mess. I'm guessing this is where the fire was. That'd be a good guess, yeah. It's a lot of ash and pretty weird, right? What do you expect? There was a fire. Yeah, but for what? Less than 15 minutes? Whatever burnt to an unrecognizable crisp here, it burnt up really quick. Interesting. And what's this sticking out of the pile? Some kind of wire? I think it's spine. Actually, there's a few wires sticking out of the pile, and that's about it. They all look kind of like unwound coat hangers. Looks more than ballon wire to me. Balin wire? Baling wire. For baling hay or straw, like you would do on a farm. Oh yeah, one of those farms I'm all the time hanging out on, so I would totally know what that is. Look like spine stuff, but interesting. If it's not that, then what is it? Huh, this is a puddle of wax? Looks like it. The color made me think blood at first, but it's definitely wax when you look close. There's some candles in this puddle, half melted, while some are completely melted. You can see the wicks floating in it, see? Oh yeah, I was wondering what those stringy things were. They're white. It doesn't look like these candles were ever actually lit. So something melted a bunch of unlit candles on the floor, maybe the fire. Probably the big huge fire that apparently happened right next to them. Yeah, see? Dang, are you seeing this, Leo? What, the table? Yeah, the table. It's got a real nice gram here. A pentagram? Isn't that the shape wizards use to cast evil spells? Hey! That's a stereotype. Yeah, Leo, it's the shape wizards use to cast evil spells. There's no artistry or subtle craftsmanship involved. It's just a shape, and it's just so evil. Don't get smart with me, kid. That thing's for summoning demons, right? You can use it to summon a demon, sure. But they've got a wide variety of applications depending on the way you just describe the... This reminds me of, like, you ever seen that picture of, like, it's like the girls' night and the boys' night? And there's a thing of, like, the girls' night being like, haha, we're just... And, like, they make memes about it, and, like, the girl sleepover is like, oh, we're gonna summon these demons, and the boys one is like them like clad up in fucking like military outfits, being like shooting demons, be like, where are all these demons coming from? It's probably one of my favorite things I found like 2 years ago, I think. Back to this, but they've got a wide variety of applications depending on the way you inscribe you draw the shape different and it does different stuff. You're oversimplifying, maybe, kid. Maybe, or maybe I'm just simplifying. I'm not here to gawk at how good you dead wizard buddies are at geometry, right? Tell me what that thing was for. Well, I can't really say, actually. It looks like it burned up before they could finish it. Finish it? You know, finish it. Detail stuff. Runes, sigils, inscriptions, the works. It's a basic tool for sacrificial rituals. Without more context, I can't say what they were up to. You can't just analyze the trace magics or something? If this were a dead architect and you handed me a piece of blank grid paper to analyze. Fine. Just keep that thing in mind. Okay, well, we know they're probably going to sacrifice was probably this goat, right? So, it's like an old stereotype, right? This guy's dead, alright? This is the victim? Most likely, he's the guy who owns the room anyway. So he's the guy responsible for this place being a huge dump, huh? We got a name on this guy? No. Okay. Huh? How do we not have a name? Well, I took a look at the lease. Seems the man signed his name as none of your business. Okay. Yep, none of your business. And then a little angry face. Man, that ain't subtle. You'd think he'd at least come up with a possible fake name, huh? Anyway, dang, he's got a bullet wounded him and there's blood all over the floor. Is that the blood? Is that the bullet wound? Seems kind of open and shut. His robes are kind of burnt, but it looks like most of him was untouched. I think the bullets would did him in. Okay. And he's holding a candle. It's not lit, but it's used to be judging by the wick. Well, that's a candle. Who was worrying about that being a stick of dynamite? Why would you have dynamite on him? Anyway, hey, he's got those tattoos in the book. You can use these to figure out what kind of wizard he is. Oh, cool. That's about the size of it. What's got us worried is that we don't know what happened to the other guy. That charred thing near the door? Yep, beauty here is no mystery. Toilet's pretty suspicious. How so? Well, I don't know exactly, but we should totally add it to evidence so we can make theories. What? No, why would the toilet matter? I don't know yet, but no, I'm putting the kibosh on that. Kibosh? Kaboosh? I think it's kibosh. Who knows what kind of gross out jokes you're gonna make him feel that you do that. Really good ones. No. Someone doesn't like toilet humor. That's weird. What is? This book, it looks like it's describing some kind of demonic ritual. This one's pretty complicated though. I'll just flip through it. But wait, huh? What is it? You can't turn those pages. That's disturbing the crime scene. Huh? Wait, reading books counts as disturbing the crime scene? You gotta touch it to turn the pages, right? That's not allowed. Okay, alright. So I guess I'll just blow on the pages to flip them. What? No, you can't. That counts as touching them. There's no way that counts. Yes, it does. Hands off, Seeker. Seriously? Look, I'm not giving her an inch with this. We follow the procedure to the letter, got it? Fine. You can touch the book when we've got probable cause to disturb the scene. Oh, that's something that's like a projection. That's part of the projection. Oh. Hey, check this out. A bottle of premium extra virgin's blood. This is the good stuff. Really expensive too. By the looks of this place, they had to save up their money to buy it. Virgin's blood. What in Sam hell did they have that for? I mean, all kinds of things. Just about any sacrificial ritual you can name calls for at least a drop of it. This is pretty basic stuff, Leo. You sure you're a detective? It's your job to know creepy facts about magic, not mine. What's this mean for the case? Nothing really. Just standard wizarding supplies like you'd expect any decent sorcerer to have on hand. Only thing weird about it is how high-end this particular bottle is. They were probably planning something big. Was it any of it used? Talk to you. Wida. Can I help you? Yeah, what's with that big machine you've got there? Machine? Yeah, the microscope looking dealy. It's a microscope. So, you've already identified it correctly. Good work. We solved the case! It's a microscope! A giant microscope? On wheels? Yes. I mean, it's the obvious question I've got here is, how come it's so big? Heh. Aren't microscopes usually conveniently desk-sized? It's, well, when it's bigger, it can fit more lenses and increase the focal length, which means I can see smaller things. What kind of things do you need to see that the regular microscope can't handle? Well, evidence and traces of things. What, like individual molecules? It's not that powerful, but an individual bacterium, for instance. When do you need to get up close and personal with germs? When dealing with pathology cases, or did Phelan put you up to this? No. Put me up to what? Asking you about your microscope? He hates me. He'll do anything to see me gone. I don't know what he'd accomplish by looking into my equipment, but yeah, no, I was just curious. I don't need to drag the boss man into this. Yeesh. So is that thing yours? That? Oh, no, I don't know what that's doing here. It's just it was chained up when I got here. So you got nothing to do with it, huh? So that raises the question, what is it doing here? Leo's hypothesis doesn't really account for the goat at all. Well, that's because it's not a crime to own a goat, right? Sure, but it's still weird. Do you have some sort of guess? Well, I don't know what's up with the goat, but I'm sure it's got something to do with this crime, right? There's a whole lot of weirdness going on. An inexplicable goat seems right at the home. Should we have Fellaini draft a draft of evidence card for it? Didn't already? Huh. I'll take a look and see what I can figure out. Who's died somehow? Admit dollars and donuts will find the cause of death around here somewhere. Identified tattoo. I went to Kendall's hair out, ash power projector. Slick firing a gun. Do you have the actual person themselves? Oh, okay. You've also got us a dead wizard, but we don't know what. Okay, I got it. This guy's a go wizard. What makes you so sure? Check it out. He's got the tattoos on his face, right? Those tattoos match the tattoos in the go wizard spellbook. Makes it pretty obvious what he is. Are you sure that's not a trick? Could just be face paint. Go check. Dude, no way. You want me to rub down a dead guy's face? Justice is messy, kid. You think I'm gonna... I already inspected the body, actually. It doesn't come off. Those are tattooed, certainly. Thank you, forensics lady. Even though you said we weren't supposed to touch anything and you just admitted to breaking that rule. Not that I'm complaining. Saves me having to poke that guy's weird, dead, sort of gaunt face. So the answer is that. Stiff's a go wizard. Alright then. What's next? Okay.
Hypothesis updated.
I like the evidence. It's like shot to hot and you're to blame. Cause of death for this guy too. The bullet wound. Basic illusion makes things stop. Classification. Are we sure that's a bullet hole? What, in the wizard? Yeah, I mean, maybe someone cast portable hole on him. Wouldn't that do the trick? You think the go wizard cast portable hole on himself? Well, I don't know if that'd kill him is the thing. We'd never use that spell. So, like, what happens with his vital organs if there's a hole there? Do they vanish or they just get warped out of the way? Well, he's bleeding pretty bad. So if it is a portable hole, then the answer is your question. So it doesn't make any sense that he'd do it, and nothing in the spellbook said it could backfire. And I've inspected the body. That hole is definitely a bullet hole. Oh, well, if you already checked it out, then I guess we've got to try something else. Oh, the bullet wound, since we'll have to show what it is. I'll bring that up with Leo. Okay. His bleeding hole in him is the thing. I think maybe he got shot. You sure about that, kid? I mean, there was a gunshot earlier, and there's a guy with a bullet hole in him. This case doesn't exactly call for Sherlock Holmes, does it? What about those robes? Looks like they've been burnt. You don't think he died from the fire? Probably not. The scorch marks don't really reach the rest of him, just the clothes. I doubt this guy even got burned, much like burned up. Guess you're right there. Let's go with that for now. There's this guy, Go Wizard, who got shot and set on fire. Looks like the bullet was the cause of death. Okay. We got some kind of hologram at the door here. Where'd it come from? Does it have to be for a reason? Maybe that thing's just a spontaneous hologram. Those things happen all the time. They don't. Yeah, they don't. Where'd it come from? Is it living memory or is it living memory? That spell from the book. It creates a hologram of no. I don't want to know what it is. I mean, I do know that though. That's my other question. I say where'd it come from? I mean, I want to know how it got here or who or what made it happen. Oh, okay. The hologram by the door is exactly the effect that the living memory spell looks like. A what now? The thing from the Stop magic book. The thing that projects an image of a moment frozen in time according to how the caster remembers it. Oh, right. That thing I was paying attention to. Yeah, that one. So that's the spell, is it? Something doesn't add up, though. You said the spell could only be cast by a Stop wizard, but there's no one like that around. Do you think it's one of the dead bodies? Maybe, but there could be some other explanation. The Stop wizard could have run or hid or...
Hypothesis updated.
Okay. Where'd it come from? What can the Stop wizard do again? These are all the Stop ones, right? Oh, these are all the Go ones. Muckle goes. Okay, so these are the Stop ones. And then these are the Go ones. No, these are the Stop ones. And these are the Go ones. Yeah, that's right, because the Stop goes below the... Okay. So a Stop wizard could... Statuification. I bet you the guy on here is a Stop wizard. And then tried casting a spell on somebody and then backfired. Alright. Where that's from. Dude, I figured it out. Yeah, what's got you all excited? That level 2 spell, a Stop wizard that can cast Flesh to Stone, but that spell can backfire. If it backfires, the wizard who casts it gets turned to stone themselves, which means that statue isn't a statue, it just used to be a real Stop wizard. Eh? That's a pretty wild theory, but I mean, how else would we explain that thing? I guess this means that the statue used to be a Stop wizard and he tried to pull something during an incident. Got him. That's all evidence Opal will let you find. Huh. We know we had to be one here anyway, since someone cast living memory. Yep, that all adds up. On the wrong end. And have I fast jump, but how did it backfire? Well, the target was probably the guy by the door. What makes you say that? Well, he's pretty crispy, unlike the other guy who just got his clothes singed. We can be sure that he was on fire at some point. Sure, that makes sense, but what's that got to do with the statue? Well, remember the spell description for the Flesh to Stone. It backfires if the target has a status effect. Birding is a pretty classic status effect. Ask anyone. I don't know about that. You don't think he'd notice? Huh? The guy was on fire and then the spell would backfire. Seems like the first thing you'd check if you wanted to cast something like that. That's true, but maybe he wasn't thinking of the non-magical fire or something that would count. I mean, those guys are pretty experienced, judging by their library. Alright then, I'll trust your judgment on this one. Okay. Living memory protected by the door here. No Stop wizard to be found. It's not a power move, having a bigger microscope than everyone else. So what? The other forensic scientists look at how big your scope is and they're like, dang, she must be extremely science. Extremely what? I bet it doesn't even do anything special. You just wanted to have a really big microscope. I'm not the one being investigated here. Got it. Your secret is safe with me. It's not. You're not even making any sense. Not making any sense like a fox. Goddamn right. Okay, so I have all these. Alrighty. Everything after this point is. It's the guy by the door, whoever he is. I've got it. The guy who died here, the burnt corpse. It's gotta be who? The corpse, the guy who burned to death. That's who. Oh. Okay, did I do the? I thought I did the projection already. So I couldn't help but notice. Found a clue, did you? I mean, you really don't know who the dead guy is. He's burnt up, but who do you think it is? I mean, it's got to be Slick Him Up, right? The guy in the hologram looks exactly the same as this thing. You'd think that, wouldn't you? But think again, kid. The body is burnt to a crisp. See, when the corpse is burnt, you can't identify it. But look, he's wearing the same clothes. There's the same height. What the fuck? You don't know that. What if someone else and they just switched his clothes? Why did you say? Why were they? You're saying they disguised a different body as Slick Him Up, but then burnt him alive? Criminal's a sneaky kid, and they just had Slick's clothes lying around because. Shouldn't I be asking you that question? Figure it out. I gotta figure out the secret underlying cause of a wild guess that you just made up with no evidence, just to make things more exciting, man. Can we just, for 1 minute, entertain the wild theory that the guy who looks exactly like the deceased is actually the freaking deceased? Fine. Suck all the fun out of my job, why don't you? I probably am gonna run into some convoluted junk like that eventually. Okay. What about that emergency exit thing? What about it? Well, to use it, you need a fire round. So the wizard started a fire first. Slow down, kid. What you're getting at is that the fire killed him? Right, the wizard cast emergency exit to escape. And the fire got over to the robber and hold it. This magic stuff you're talking about is a whole different can of eggs. Eggs? What I mean is, if you think it was the fire, just say so. Don't go around getting magic involved before we need to. I still think it's important though. Then we'll get to it. Kids these days with their rap music and their secrets breaking. Okay, so it's a fucking fire. I mean, it's easy enough to tell just by looking at the guy. There was a fire earlier, right? The guy's toast. You think he burned to death? Well, I don't know how else it would have happened. There was only one gunshot and only one guy bleeding out. Ah, yes, the state of the body is consistent with burning to death. Yes. That good enough for now, Leo? Yeah, I guess so. So, this crook here from the hologram tried to rob the dump, but ended up burning to death. There's also a dead Go wizard who got shot and set on fire. Looks like the bullet was the cause of death. We got a living memory protection by the door here, but no stop wizards to be found, so where'd it come from? Wait, we know what this now it is. Leo, you feeling alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Why, do I not look fine? I mean, we just established that statue was the stop wizard like a minute ago. He's right here. Oh, right. Just haven't had my coffee yet. It's like 3 in the morning. Takes me a while to connect the dots. Yeah, hang in there, boss. Okay. Looks like the stop wizard cast a spell here. Living memory created this illusion. Then he tried to cast flesh to stone, but finish the robber off. But since he was on fire, it counted as a status effect, and the stop wizard turned to stone. Alright, then it looks like we've got the basic facts of the case down finally. That crook Slick Him Up tried to rob these wizards, but ended up burning to death. There's also a dead Go wizard who got shot and set up on fire. It looks like the bullet was the cause of death. On top of that, it looks like the stop wizard spell here, living memory, to make an illusion of what happened. Then he tried to cast flesh to stone on the robber, but to finish him off, since the robber was on fire, it counted as a status effect and the stop wizard turned to stone. But there's a couple suspicious details we still haven't figured out. Like, how did the fire start? And why didn't Slick escape before getting burned alive? I don't think it matters, does it? Huh? You know what happened, don't you? Why don't you just file your report already? I honestly don't think we need to spend too much more time in this hole in the wall. Is that so? Seeker, we're not done here. Is there anything else catching your eye? I see what you mean. The whole fire situation is pretty spish. Spish, like sort of suspicious. I've never heard it be called that, like spelled like that, but I don't know how I guessed it. So the whole fire angle on the situation is way spish. Plus, you said the landlord heard a gunshot at 2:10, but the fire didn't start till 2:35. That's spish too. What was happening for all that time? I don't know, but I'm ordering you right now to never say spish again. Buzz off, Leo. You're not the boss of me. I'm literally the boss of you. Freaking killjoy, wise guy. Suspiciousness aside, and you better pay me back for the cost of all those syllables. This can't be the whole story. If not because of the open questions, then because of how there's like a zillion pieces of evidence we still haven't used. There's no way this game has that many red herrings. That is very true. I was just thinking about that. I was like, they gave me a lot of evidence that I haven't used. Case, whatever. Fourth wall breaking. Anyway, Leo, we're doing this the same as before. You have questions that come up with answers? This really isn't necessary. Can't we just go home? I'm deciding that ma means no. Get back to work. Oh, the fire start. Why didn't Slick escape? What is he? Oh, that's the bullet. Okay. That's a bullet. I don't know. I didn't realize what that was, but that's the bullet that shot him. So this guy shot him. Something was on fire. Nothing was on fire. Yeah, that's a good question. I'm missing something here. Evidence. Something to do with the statue. Fire, ash, thing in here. Okay, so I'm missing something here, here, and over here. Okay. Church party with this guy. Went to go hide. There's a sacrifice thing going on. Turn to stone. Free stuff in time with a word. So someone got froze. There's also living memory. There's a fire, right? Level 2 Go Wizard can use a fire as a portal as long as it's big enough to walk through. Immune to fire for 30 seconds. So there must have been a fire started. to Go Wizard. A rune on a stick and reverse the direction velocity of whatever stuck to. Like a bullet? Can you reverse a bullet? So what if Slick was a Go Wizard, he could have intended to cast emergency exit and then poof away. I've not been over this, Slick ain't a wizard. He's never used magic in any of his jobs, and he's on record committing hate crimes against sympathizers. The hate crimes thing is new to me. Anyway, it could be a recent thing, maybe he had a change of heart. Maybe from what left of his face, we could be sure he doesn't have those tattoos. Oh, okay, right, those. Maybe the fire made the ink evaporate? Let's move on to something plausible, kid. Okay, well... maybe it was caused by... it wasn't caused of the fire. Slick fire and gun. Charred and broken. It's either the haywire or the pentagram table, I think. These are big. Whatever burnt up here had to be really flammable, right? I guess so. The fire burnt itself out almost 15 minutes after the alarm went off, before we showed up. The smoke was mostly cleared by then, so it was probably sooner than that. That's what I'm saying, yeah. I think I know what it is that went up in smoke. Yeah? Those wires, they were used for binding hay bales. They were probably had a bunch of stacked. Oh, the corner to feed the goat. That's right. Buddy, I know. Where'd all that food go, right? That explains why there's no charcoal or debris in that pile besides the wires. Still, that doesn't explain how they caught fire, does it? Come on, don't waste my time. Figure it out. Yeah, fine, right. A place like this needed fuel and it had hay bales, but how did they ignite? Okay. Maybe they knocked over a candle during the ritual? What ritual? Well, whatever it was they were trying to do with the table there. A lot of rituals call for candles. Demons love the fire. That's Demons 101. In fact, you know the candle the wizard's holding? What about it? Well, the wick's gone black. If you look at the melted candles on the floor, you'll see that there's 4 of them, right? More importantly, the wires aren't black. They've never been lit. The 5th candle, one for each point of the star on the table, I bet had to be on fire at some point. If the other candles melted without burning, that means that this one was probably lit recently. Since the wizard's holding the only recent source of fire, he's probably the one who started it. I don't know, there's a lot of other possible explanations, so we should keep our eyes open. For now though, we'll run with that and see where it takes us. But now that we've had an idea of what caught fire and who started it, we still need a why. A why? That's right. Did the wizard start the fire on purpose, or was it an accident? Does it really matter? You know what caused the fire, so why speculate about the motives of a dead man? Because we like learning things. We like solving mysteries, lady. Your person? What? You don't want to know? I just think it's a waste of time. And this is the police investigation. Wasting time is practically our chief responsibility. You're goddamn right. I figured it out, Seeker. You got it, boss. It was an accident on purpose. Didn't Slick escape. I think I have all the evidence, right? Because they banned thing about being like all the evidence that Leo will allow me to get. They're doing a ritual, right? Maybe the Go Wizard was just in a hurry and knocked over a lit candle. Back it up, Seeker. Isn't he holding the candle in the room that's being lit? So he knocked it over, then picked it up, but it was too late, and then got shot. Huh, yeah, kind of weird that it would be his priority when someone was pointing a gun at him. I doubt he tried to complete a complicated sacrificial ritual at gunpoint. He was trying to accomplish something there. It probably wasn't an attempt to pull off a ritual that hadn't even started. Crossing rune? We would need a fire to dispose of some of those stickers. Never found a sticker sheet for reversing rune. Could be that's why? Doubt it. Can't be hard to get rid of paper. Wouldn't need to set his whole place on fire for that. Why'd he think about doing that when a robber's got a gun pointed at his head? I can't guess either. Okay, so that's not the option. Alright. Maybe he didn't want to run for it, huh? Maybe he was worried you guys would show up and solve his crime. Maybe he needed to stay there until he was sure all the evidence was gone and he would make a clean escape. Getting trapped in that fire was just an accident? I'm not asking about why he didn't escape the room. It's the fire part I'm worried about. Even if I was asking that, your idea doesn't hold up. Slick's no master thief. He's got a criminal record, and his MO is to grab the goods and run. He wouldn't stick around in a burning building just to make sure he didn't leave any evidence. Okay then. Why didn't he escape? What's uncertainty mean? Why didn't Slick just get out of the fire and then stop, drop, and roll? Maybe he didn't know about that. Odds are longer than that one. I'm thinking the most likely possibility is that someone stopped him from moving directly. Oh, I see. That's like the hint. I just used a hint. Right. There's some way we would know about them for them to do that, right? Well, I know what that does now. I think I've got it. Why Slick didn't just move out of the way? Lay it on me. He didn't move because he couldn't. That stop wizard could cast Mass Arrest Momentum, which freezes things in place. Oh, right. There's just a magic spell that does exactly the thing I was talking about. I guess we've got some kind of blind spot for people randomly breaking the laws of physics. Fine, makes sense. That stop wizard casts all his spells to try and stop that robber. Probably started with the freeze, then the memory, and Flesh the Stone would have been the last because he couldn't cast anything else if he was a statue. Got it. What was this? Okay. Those candles that melted, maybe he wanted those melted for some reason. How's that? Like, maybe he didn't want anyone to know how many candles he had. Okay, he didn't want. Okay, that's no, that's bad. So if he got shot while holding the candle, wouldn't he drop it, accidentally set something on fire? Apparently not. He's holding on pretty tight. Unless he's too far away from where the actual fire was. Seems pretty clear that he set the fire before he got shot and died. Going wizard, not going anymore. Fire was at 235. was early in the morning, maybe everyone would be falling asleep, right? But to your point, maybe they wanted to set off the fire alarm and get the attention of someone who could come help. Like, get the landlord to show up or someone in the building. Like a couple wizards who want that kind of attention. That kind of attention, yeah, not police attention. Someone could intervene before the cops showed up. We did show up, though, pretty quick. Unless they already had an escape plan, I don't think they would have gotten that for that. An escape plan, huh? Wait. No. Duh. The escape plan. Wait a minute. At first I thought setting his own apartment on fire didn't make any sense except for as an accident, but that emergency exit spell, walking through the fire, is a teleport. If he wished to get away from the guy blocking the door and pointing a gun at him, he can set something on fire and cast the spell. Get the heck out of Dodge. He just happened to have a lit candle to do it with. Well, it's pretty obvious they were in the middle of setting up some kind of ritual when Slick showed up. He probably just lit that candle and was getting ready to use the light to light the others. So then what? He lit himself on fire? I'm not sure. He might have gone to go light the hay on fire, or maybe he just used his own robes. Yeah. Either way, it didn't work the way he wanted. Something went wrong and the blaze went out of control, huh? What do you think happened? Let me think about that one. Okay. Looks like it failed somehow. Wait, cast the hair on fire and cast emergency exit to escape. Looks like it failed somehow. Okay. All the ash that was probably out of smoke too. Sure was. You got there late, but the place smelled awful when we showed up. So maybe the fire itself interfered. We got lung full of smoke. You might have been too busy coughing to cast a spell. Maybe. I get the feeling there's a more direct explanation though. Well, maybe he got shot. I think we have to go with the obvious here. The obvious? When he's super dead, he got shot. That just seems like the sort of thing that would stop him from casting a spell, you know? That spell doesn't have any weird failure conditions like with the statue thing. Nope, nothing like that. I think it's just you can't cast a spell if you're not alive. Unless you're lit or something. I'm just not going to worry about the undead right now. You sure he didn't get shot after he cast the spell and failed? I don't think there's really anything else that could have stopped him from casting it. Bullet is definitely looking like the most likely suspect here. Alright then, I'll take your word for it, magic expert. Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Fine. Is that enough? Are we done? We know what happened. The robber burst in, the dead guy started a fire, the robber shot him, and the statue man messed up at magic so bad that everyone died. You think that satisfied the chief, Leo? I mean, it all checks out. I can't think of a reason not to write this up and turn it in. Wait, hold on a second. I don't think our explanation actually holds up here now that I think about it. That fire tripped the alarm at 2:35, 25 minutes after the gunshot. Could the fire really have started before? Could the fire really have started before the wizard got shot? It could just be that it took that long to get big enough to trip the smoke detector, but that'd be awfully convenient. And another thing, what about all that stuff I wasn't supposed to touch? What about all that stuff? Like the bathtub with a curtain over it, or the other pages of book on the table. We're just going to let those things be a mystery? I'm afraid we can't disturb the crime scene without some probable cause to link the specifics of the crime. But how are they not linked? You never proved they were. Well, they're related to some crime, right? The spellbook on the table is proof that they're legally practicing magic. Well, I'm afraid I don't have a warrant to investigate arcane misdemeanors. I only have a warrant to investigate the violent incident. So just go home. Weren't you the one complaining about having to bother with this in the first place? Or do you want to look at that spellbook so you can peek at its magic? Hey, shut up. I'm completely clean, got it? I'm not gonna violate my parole in front of 2 cops anyway. At least not in a way they can see. Why should we trust you? Why should you trust me not to read spell books in front of... Wait a minute. You figured something out, Seeker? No, they didn't. It doesn't matter. I'm not allowed to turn the pages of that spellbook because we don't have a warrant, right? Absolutely. Don't you go dare and touch that thing. Wait a minute, Seeker. Just to be clear, I'm not allowed to flip through spellbooks unless I have a good reason to think they're connected to the crime. Yes, you... Wait. Interesting. So when I went over to the bookshelf and went through those other spellbooks, I was breaking the rules, right? Yes, you were. Leo, arrest them. I don't think I'm about to do that, actually. It just seems pretty funny to me that you didn't have anything to say when I was checking out those books. You were sure quick to remind me of the rules, except when those rules meant we couldn't figure out an easy little explanation here. Wait, Seeker, are you accusing Opal of obstruction of justice? Oh, absolutely. I've been suspicious of her since the beginning. Something like that. But that's impossible. This is none of your business anyway. Like, maybe she knows something about this case that she doesn't want us to know? Leo, my man, you wouldn't happen to have arrived on the scene after a forensics expert, would you? That's meaningless. It's meaningless. I didn't touch anything besides checking the bodies. Why would I want to do that? Because you're a jealous harpy who wants to see my career go up in flames. But what was that? What did you mutter just then? Nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm certainly not going to just believe Seeker's claims. They're a loose cannon. Oh, good. Hey boss, what's the big idea? But they're making a serious accusation. I think it might be worth looking into. I may not be authorized to open up new magic cases. But wait, I've got the authority to perform an internal investigation on subordinate personnel. And it looks like a bunch of things in this room are all materially relevant to the investigation, or what have you. This is unfounded. It's probably counts as harassment. I'm going to HR. I am HR. If you like, have fun with that. Seeker, I've got one question for you this time. Is there any proof that the story Dr. Whiteout wants us to believe can't possibly be true? You can investigate anything in this room in as much detail as you want now. The water, let's go, the bathtub. It's a bathtub, lady. It's not the pool. It's not the ocean. It's not the beach. It's a bathtub. All right, let's see what we've got under there. What am I looking at here? Huh? What's that gray stuff? It's concrete. The bathtub's all stopped up with concrete. Really? No, it's actually fondue, and I'm messing with you for no reason. Fondue? But no, I was being sarcastic. Wasn't that obvious? You thought it would be obvious that you weren't messing with me for no reason. Good point. As if that were something you would never really do. Okay, that's fair. But seriously, it's a solid concrete in this thing. What the heck does that mean? I might have some idea. Alright, I can finally dig through this sweet tome. For investigation purposes and not for legal knowledge purposes. Yeah, sure. Oh, right, yeah, sure. Huh. What is it? Well, this book. It's sort of a religious text for a demon cult. So it's a spell book then. What? No, dude. Don't you know anything about magic? Don't I, the cop, do illegal things like knowing things about magic? Seriously, man, dealing with this stuff is your job. And calling in ex-cons like you to handle the magic side of things is part of that job. Whatever. Anyway, the difference is most magic is about trapping demons and forcing them to give you powers. Worshipping demons is a totally different thing, and these guys must have been total crooks. I could have told you that. How's that relevant? Well, stop magic and go magic are derived from the ring of elemental demons, which are known for being more hierarchical, better organized. They've got more of a social structure than most of the slavering murder beasts down there. Good for them. Get to the point. The point is, this book tells demon worshippers how to ask the elemental demons for stuff. Rituals for buying magic instead of taking it by force. This ritual was supposed to be an animal sacrifice. They had to light 5 candles around a pentagram and sacrifice a live goat. Oh! And what that ritual was supposed to be? A shortcut to leveling up in stop magic and go magic from first level to the second. Wait, what? meaning these guys weren't already level 2. But that means, yeah, I think we have the answer to your question right here. Level 1. Level 1. Turn a feather into a statue. Okay. Level 2 go wizard. Can't use fire. This guy tried to use a portal, but he can't even use the spell. And that explains why he couldn't. Okay, the fire guy couldn't use the spell to do emergency exit because he wasn't level 2. But the stone guy also couldn't use the stone statue. And couldn't turn a fella into a statue unless the target's already afflicted with status. Dried concrete. Huh, I think I got this now. Missing one piece of evidence. Is there any proof that the story Dr. White wants us to believe can't possibly be true? Let's recap real quick. What we thought happened was that the Go Wizard tried to cast Emergency Exit and the Stop Wizard to cast Flesh the Stone, right? Bunch of other stuff happened, but yeah. Right, but if they've never finished that level up ritual, that means they're not level 2. And since there's 2 spells were level 2 spells, that means I couldn't have really used them. Wait, what? But that guy's definitely a statue. If that wasn't a Flesh to Stone backfire, how did that happen? If the Go Wizard couldn't cast Emergency Exit, why would he set himself on fire? Hold it, how do you know they didn't complete the ritual? You're jumping to conclusions. Oh, right. I think there's more than enough evidence to show that, but we might as well nail that down. How do we know? I don't know, maybe because the goat is still fucking here? Well, we've got one piece of conclusive evidence right here. Huh? That's right, goat, it's you. The goat? What's the goat got to do with anything? The description of the level up ritual requires sacrificing the goat. Since the goat's still alive, and there's no sacrificed goat corpses lying around, since they never lit the ritual candles, come to think of it, they couldn't have completed the ritual, so they couldn't be level 2. And that means nothing. It means nothing. They could have already been level 2. Just because that book had a spell in it, who says they were casting it? This is all, you can't prove, maybe, I can't prove nothing, Opal, but it's painting one heck of a picture. If I were you, I'd get ready to defend yourself to the Division Tribunal. Because convincing me you weren't up to anything, that ship sailed halfway across the globe. You can't do this. Do what? I ain't done a thing yet, Whiter. Except, of course, for my job. If you want to keep yours, I expect you do it. Cooperate with the investigation. Holy shit, dude. He looks menacing. Look at him. Looks so scary. I'll continue cooperating with your investigation. You can't prove I've been doing anything else that I'll have to do. And if it doesn't, hey boss, how about we cool our jets a little and finish the job, yeah? He's more like a demon than anything else. Oh, right, back on task. Presumptuous, spoiled, smug piece of garbage. You talking about me, Whiter? Well, no, I wasn't talking about anyone. You didn't hear anything. Right.
This is updated.
It wasn't a Flesh of Stone. Why did that statue get there? I wonder how that statue looked like that. There's no way this is what happened, is it? No way what's what happened. I mean, why else would Opal hide it in the curtain, though? She had to think it would give the answer away. Hide what? Yes, hide what? I didn't hide anything. The bathtub full of concrete, you've covered it with that curtain so we wouldn't know what was inside. That's preposterous. If I was involved in some sort of trick, the perpetrator could have done it. Sure, right, the perpetrator who totally knew the ins and outs of ridiculous police bureaucracy and would plan around it. Plan around what? You're still not explaining. Sorry, boss, let me clue you in. That statue? Not a statue, but it is the Stop Wizard. What? How's that? Easy, the bathtub, he filled it up quick dry concrete mix, took a dip, and then climbed out. He took that pose before it dried, and now he's hiding inside the concrete cell, holding very still and hoping we don't call this bluff. That's the craziest in a long line of crazy explanations you've cooked, Seeker. Should have known it was just another joke. No, I'm serious. Why else do you think Opal was so opposed to us checking underneath? It's a pretty wacky idea, but it's the only thing that fits the evidence. Good lord, you're serious. And you're right, we have to consider that possibility, even though I still want to know why he'd do that. Want to crack him open and ask? Oh! I bet he's sweating in there. Word we're gonna see through him. No. Huh? Seeker, a word. If you're right, the perp might bolt. Let's wait until we've gathered more evidence first. What, you don't think you can arrest him? It's a toss-up. If he casts that mass arrest of momentum thing, he could slip out while we were stuck. So, want me to take him on my magic against his? Negative. Aw. Still, I want you to confirm this. If he's really in there, you need a hole somewhere to breathe through. Oh, good thinking. I'll take a look. Hold it. If you find it, don't tell me. Instead, lie. After you check it out, say it looks like a normal statue to you. Should make him think we've lost the scent. And if it really is a normal statue, then say the same thing, but turn around and give me a thumbs down. You won't see. You won't see it. Got it. Well, dang. Looks like we were wrong. This is definitely just a normal statue. Nothing weird about it. And nothing. That's all I've got to say on the matter. Alrighty then. Keep your voice down, and from now on, don't want him overhearing. Roger. But one thing though, can we just use the normal font size and the player can pretend we're being quiet? Yeah, it's not like I was lowering my voice for these parts. No siree, not me. Huh? What are you talking about? I mean, it'd be annoying to read this tiny font for the rest of the game, right? Sure, whatever. I got more important things to worry about. That's a cool fourth wall break. Containment team, enter the building and stand by to apprehend a magic user on my signal. And Hyperfacium and Gargantian non-digitus. Oh, type font. Gigantic. Testing. Yep, that ought to do the trick.
Hypothesis updated.
Alright. Coat himself in concrete. Why? Go couldn't cast emergency exit. Why would he set himself on fire? You want to get shot? What haven't we used yet? We haven't used any of the rune stuff. And the virgin's blood. Reversing rune for quick U-turns. I want to know why he'd do something like that. I think you just need to look outside. Outside? What's outside? Only your police permit, you know, the one you established around the building when the crime was reported. Like, well, if he didn't fake his, if he didn't get frozen by flesh to stone, you'd have to just arrested him on the spot. That gunshot earlier was loud enough to get your attention. He'd have known you were on your way. Good thing he's totally dead, or he'd be in handcuffs right now. Let's see. Once we wrap this up, we can all go home and leave that statue sitting in its abandoned apartment. It'll be totally unguarded, but who cares, right? Everyone in this room is dead as a doornail. Yep, there's no reason to keep up a perimeter, since we don't have any living suspects. Oh well.
Hypothesis updated.
Okay. Why would the gold wizard? Why did he set himself on fire? Oh, hold on. So he didn't set himself on fire. There's all those spell books lying around. Could have been he was trying to hide evidence of magic. What, by burning it all? Yeah, it started a fire to burn the books and magic spell components and stuff. He got set aflame himself a little bit in the process, but that was just an accident. Bob explains where the reversing rune sticker sheets went, too, into the fire. Maybe, but it seemed like the fire only got to part of the room. Apart from that sticker sheet theory, it doesn't look like he actually got around to burning much. Guess he got shot, I guess? I don't know, it seems like he wouldn't go around trying to destroy evidence while Slick was still alive. Huh? But that order of details? Now I'm just getting confused. You and me both, kid. Can go with that idea when it's clear the plan didn't come close to working, though. There's gotta be something else to this. Okay. Let's do uncertainty. There's 2 hints. Is evidently the right question, or are we barking up the wrong tree? How do you mean? I'm not sure exactly, but is bigger than the wizard himself. The ash pile in the corner? I bet he wasn't trying to set himself on fire at all. I mean, judging by the size of the ash pile, there was a lot more than fire than just the go wizard. So we know it can't have been the emergency exit. There had to be some other reason for the fire. Considering how much damage it did, I bet there's something else the fire was supposed to burn up. You think they'd start a fire like that just to destroy something? Why not flush it down the toilet, feed it to the goat, hide it in the trash heap? Well, it could be something bigger than they could dispose of like that. Maybe it just served as a dual purpose, destroying whatever evidence he wanted destroyed, but also making it look like he tried to cast emergency exit. This scene was set up to fool us into thinking they were level 2, remember? I'm not sure what's the whole story, but, well, let's tweak the question. It's not why did he set himself on fire, it's why did they start a fire, period.
It's just updated.
Is there a spell? Touch the stone, living memory. They weren't trying to do emergency exits, so then what they're trying to do it for. Love up ritual, candles in the go. I have 5 candles on a pentagram and sacrifice the goat in the middle. But wouldn't it just be if he didn't set himself on fire, there's all those spell books lying around, but he was trying to hide evidence of magic. Or by burning it all? Yeah, started a fire to burn the books and magic spell components and stuff. He got set aflame himself a little bit in the process, but that was just an accident. Probably explains what the reversing moon stickers were on. Yeah, okay, so it's not this, because this is what we had before. Used candles, charred robes. Burnt the hay. Looks like there's 3 things that setting the fire accomplished. I bet it's one of those 3. We can assume that it happened the way they wanted. First thing is that the hay went up in smoke, but I don't think that was super important. No. Second thing is that it called us the scene, got police involved. The third thing is that I burnt Slick him up to a crisp. Because I also melted those candles and burnt the table and charred the guy's robes. Wait, yeah, so wouldn't it just be You know what I think? What? I think apple empanadas are delicious, and I really can go for an apple empanada. I mean, yeah, sure, but we're working here. What if I told you I knew exactly why the wizard started the fire? What would that be? Would you treat me to a breakfast at the food trucks after we finished here? Buy me an apple empanada or something or two? What if you told me why? If you told me you know why the wizard started the fire? Exactamundo, boss. If you think you do that, I'll not add any more time to your parole, kid. You don't get a prize for doing what you're told. Empanadas do sound good, though. Is that it? Sure, what the heck? We'll get a bite after the job. Hit me. Well, stick him up's body. See, you notice how he's not alive for fire-related reasons? And escaped my notice, yeah? What about it? Well, the stuff we've learned sort of throws his cause of death into question. He was killed by the fire, right? There's no other murder weapons around, so can we just assume the wizard used the fire as a murder weapon? That's what we already assumed, right? Well, we know that it happened, but we thought it was for a different reason. We knew the wizard couldn't cast emergency exit though, so we wouldn't have started the fire for that. Because originally we knew he died from the fire, but we didn't know that it was a fire. He died from fire intentionally. Well, kind of. Because if he was stopped and then he got on fire, he couldn't get away. But now we know that maybe he was stopped first and then put on fire. So why start the fire at all? It's gotta be because he tended to make sure Slick burned. I don't know about that. Why would he use that to kill the guy? He was trapped by mass arrest momentum, right? They could have done it any number of ways. They wouldn't need an actual weapon if they had him frozen. There's all kinds of creative ways to kill someone who can't fight back. Guess you would know about that, right? I investigate a lot of homicides, kid. Right, so you need some reason to pick a fire to kill him. Something they needed to hide. You're not getting any empanadas until you tell me what that is. Seriously? Get to it, kid.
Access updated.
What was he hiding by doing that? Maybe the reverse wounds? She did some stuff on fire. Oh, fuck, put that up. Like, because maybe he's stealing stuff, right? The guy stealing stuff, he would have maybe books on him. Go tattoos, living memory, massive momentum. Why do they have a projector in the first place? Slick started the fire somehow? The living memory incriminates him pretty hard and he thought a fire would disrupt it. Don't know about that. Slick's never one to cover his tracks, the type who hits and runs. Maybe he tried to be more careful this time. Maybe. It doesn't look like he had a way to start the fire though. The muzzle flashed from his gun, right? No, that doesn't work. Landlord only heard one gunshot. If I had a second time to start a fire, someone would have noticed. Aw. There's gotta be something on the body that could have given us a hint. Oh, wait, yeah, I haven't looked at the corpse again. What's this? What's that? Well, I moved this guy's coat over a little and it looks like there's some kind of hole in him. A hole? I mean, it's tiny in the flesh, it's all gross and charred around, I'm not sure, but if maybe Slick him up got shot? Well, let's not jump to conclusions, but keep that in mind. Maybe it'll be useful information. Collect all evidence on the crime scene. There we go. I should have noticed it when one, I didn't have the achievement for collecting all the evidence in round 2, and 2, I should have noticed it when they were like, oh, you should investigate things like in further detail. Because this and this weren't in further detail. Let's look at the evidence. Also explains this missing thing right here. Maybe he got shot. Okay, so now we have all the evidence. So everything that we do from now on is going to be based off of what we have here. You know what that little hole we found in Emup's body? Yeah, what about him? I think that's the actual cause of death. The actual cause of death, you mean It wasn't the fire. Why kill someone with a fire that burns down half your apartment? Like you said, there's loads of better ways. Whatever killed him, they didn't want us to know what it was. They needed a fake cause of death, something that'd burn away any spilled blood, cauterize the wound, and distract us so we wouldn't notice. But Opal noticed when she checked out the body and made sure his cult was hiding it from us. Couldn't have us noticing something like that, right? Right, you're making, these are baseless accusations. You can't prove, I mean, I didn't touch the body. Maybe not, but it's all starting to add up. I got some more questions about that real cause of death, but I'm gonna put a pin in them for now. You have your empanadas, kid. Yippee!
This is updated.
Okay. So we know there's a stop wizard in that statue, which is why we've been whispering all of this, even though the font size is normal. Yeah, I know, my ears are font size? We talked about this. The tiny font for whispering would be annoying to read constantly, so I cast a spell to, kid, leave the fourth wall alone. You know that's not funny anymore, right? That kind of meta nonsense has been played out for almost a decade now. Has it? What do you think, player? I think it's okay, as long as you do it well, okay? You good? Seriously, cut it out. We're on the verge of solving this case. No thanks to a certain forensic scientist. I maintain that you can't prove anything. And you haven't solved anything yet. It's all just guesswork. That's what it is in these games. It's always guesswork. Except for how the statue has suspicious breathing holes in its beard, of course. Right, the stop wizard faked his death, and the go wizard started a fire to hide how Slick died. The question is, if Slick's got that bullet hole in him, and there was only the one gunshot, how come we've got two corpses with gunshot wounds? Well, do we? Maybe one's faking his death, just like the stop wizard. Possible. We gotta get some things straight first. Let's start by figuring out exactly what happened with that gunshot. If you figure that out, the rest should be easy. Sounds good. So the question we're asking first is, someone had to pull the trigger on that gun. Do you have any way to know who it was? Yeah, we do.
This is updated.
Maybe we can check who the gun belongs to if they had been in that fire. Huh? Like maybe if we belong to the Go Wizard, it has one of those rune stickers on it. But the fire would have burned those away, so that's a dead end. Yeah, but why would that work anyway? You think wizards would just go around putting stickers on things for fun? Nope, but they wouldn't do that because that'd be embarrassing, right? A little. Haha, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Leo would not be impressed if you show him your scrapbooking skills. Okay. Anyway, do we ever know who fired the gun? Yeah, man, it's only been staring us in the face for the past however long. Staring us in the face. The hologram, man, it's a living memory spell. A memory is something the caster remembers. Unless the stop wizard got tricked into seeing someone who fired the gun who didn't, we got as good as photographic evidence that the Slick 'em up fired a gun at the Go Wizard. It's only as accurate as his memories, though. From the looks of that statue and his buddy over there, we're looking at someone who's getting on in years. You sure it's not just some sort of weaponized senility here? I guess that's possible. That kind of falls into him being tricked, though. Isn't it simple to assume that it just worked the way it says it works? It's just, a working theory is that the wizards covered up the real cause of death, a bullet wound. If you're so sure Slick fired the gun, then how and somehow did he die from it? Oh, don't worry about that. I think I've got the one figured out. Yeah? I think there's one piece of evidence that'll turn things around. There we go. There we go. Okay, I think I finally get how this one figures into things. How does a bullet get fired, but suddenly turn around and end up in the run who fired it? Reversing rune. Wait, the magic sticker thing? Yeah, they took one of those stickers, slapped it on the bullet, and bam! Returned to sender. Explains why the only one in the room managed to get killed by the guy holding it, right? Slick's real cause of death was a gunshot, right, Opal? Yes, his burns aren't nearly severe enough to kill. Not quickly anyway. Right, and I'm gonna assume you just figured that out right now and didn't know that all along and kept it secret. Because I'm completely innocent of the charges against me. Right. So, killed by his own bullet, reversing wound, how about that? Well, there's 3 problems with that. Well, lay them on me, you can figure it out. First off, we didn't find any sticker sheet lying around. Why would he even have access to that? First, we didn't find it, but it'd be a piece of paper. Could have flushed it down the toilet, left it in the concrete bath, or more likely just burned it. That'd be another reason to set a fire, right? To hide that evidence. Makes sense. Second, though, how the heck do you imagine they put a sticker on a moving bullet? A moving bullet, huh? And third, the Go Wizards clearly got a hole in him. If the bullet killed Slick and not him, well, what happened there? So if it wasn't the bullet, actually, I think I might have a few ideas about that one. For real? Well, alright. If you think you can explain that, then let's make it happen. Portable hole. Maybe he made a really long portable hole in the air. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, I think I fucked up that one. Okay. Okay. I'll apply a sticker to a moving bullet. Actually, I think the answer to that question answers another question too. Huh? What question? Not one we asked, but you could see the bullet in the living memory, right? Yeah, so the stop wizard saw and the guy shot. What are you getting at? Well, you ever see a gunshot, Leo? Like, you ever actually see the bullet? Right? Huh. It's not normally too fast to see, right? But the memory shows a bullet hanging right there in the exact spot. You got a good look at it. Where are you going with this? I'm thinking that this isn't a snapshot of the moment the bullet was fired. I think it's Slick fired the gun and Stop Wizard was casting a different spell. Different spell like mass arrest momentum. The spell freezes everything in view, which probably included his friend over there. He had Slick, a bullet, and a Go Wizard all frozen in place, and he needed to do something before it wore off. He couldn't get his buddy out of the way, so instead he took one of the Go Wizard stickers and held it on front of the bullet. Then, once he dispelled the freeze, bang, the bullet started moving again and hit the sticker. Wait, wouldn't it rebound and hit the gun, not Slick? I don't know a lot about ballistics, but I do know recoil is a thing. You can actually kind of see it in the hologram. His arms already started moving off center. If you line it up, it looks like you flip the bullet around and go straight from where you saw the wound. So it would. Color me impressed, kid. With that out of the way, let's just wrap up the rest of this. You know what I'm thinking? I think the Go Wizard here is just like the Stop Wizard. What? Not really dead? He ain't breathing. There's a hole in his chest and there's blood everywhere. You really want to try and explain all of that without saying he's dead? You know what? I think I do want to do that, Leo. Oh, this ought to be good. She was all like, oh, it's blood. It's definitely a bullet wound. But she's lying. What's called Opal. So if we go by that logic of her lying about other things, and she must be lying about that, which means that was actually a portable hole. Like, let's start with the hole. It's unnaturally round and tidy, right? Not typical for a bullet hole. Sure, but the bleeding and the no breathing are really typical. Yeah, I'll get to that. But, you know, portable hole makes temporary non-destructive holes and stuff. The spell lists a maximum radius, but doesn't say anything about a minimum radius. If he cast it on himself, he could create an appearance of a bullet hole without actually getting hurt. I see. Well, that's great, but without actually getting hurt clearly ain't what happened here. Unless you want to explain how he faked the bleeding and lack of a pulse too. Don't think that's too hard to figure out, actually. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Okay, this fake death thing is on the money now. Huh? Don't tell me you've got another harebrained explanation up your sleeve. It's a common thing that we've seen in JoJo. With the thing you see in JoJo Part 3, you can stop the hurt for a second. That first thing makes sense, but no, seriously, I've got it. Like, we can deal with the non-breather thing, yeah. That mass arrest momentum spell prevents all movement, including heartbeats. The target's in a kind of stasis like this. He can look super dead without actually being dead. Huh. I guess that makes sense. So you explain away the breathing in the hole, but I mean, look at him. He's bleeding all over. How does that constitute without actually getting hurt? Blood, huh? Man, that part's easy. The answer's right in front of us. Yeah? Well, show me then. Seriously, man, it's not that hard. What is it? You really think this all ties together? Yeah, man, there was a spell for the hole, a spell for the pulse. For the blood well, they didn't need a spell for that one. We're looking at it right now. What, you think they put his blood all over the floor without magic? Who's to say it's his blood? We got a half-empty bottle of the stuff sitting right there, don't we? What, half-empty? The extra virgin's blood? Or half full? Depends on your perspective. But yeah, the bottle of blood is store-bought, not homemade. Huh, you really did it. Not that your whole theory isn't exactly bonkers, but you've got one. Bonkers? Pay attention, Leo, it fits the evidence. Well, I'll be darned, you're not wrong. And you know what? We can verify this one. Let's just wrap up the rest of this and we'll see about closing the case.
Access updated.
Oh, okay, got them all. So, that's everything, right? We can speak freely now. Right. So, Tapificium Dominium non-digestius. The heck was that? Making the font size for whispering normal again, since we're not whispering everything. See, now the font is tiny when I whisper. God, we're still doing that bit? Look, ignoring that. You think them wizards elaborately faked their deaths so we'd leave? Reversing rune, mass arrest, momentum, portable hole, living memory? Those were what they could actually use. Combine that with the bottled blood, quick dry concrete, and convenient fire to hide and destroy evidence. They set up this whole scene to make us think everyone was dead, and our job was done. Seems like a mess of a plan. A lot of weird stuff around that gave it away, huh? Well, they only had, what, 20 minutes after the gunshot came up to come up with something, right? And that doesn't look like they were very smart. Still, assuming you're right, we almost got fooled. Well, they couldn't have counted on it, but they had some outside help with their plan. Huh? The first person on the scene figured out their trick pretty quick, I bet. But they wanted to discredit the real investigation, so they helped cover up the dead giveaways. Once the cops looked around and found nothing, they'd claim to have solved it themselves and get one up on the detective. Isn't that right, Dr. Ryder? I don't know what you're talking about. Do you really think that someone would need to set something up to make Leo look bad? He's an incompetent. All you need to do is make him look bad is let him open his mouth. Gee, Opal, why don't you tell us how you really feel? Let's not. No, you know what? You want the truth? This buffoon doesn't deserve his position. It's nepotism. He's the chief's husband. He stole her from me. This idiot. Is this Jerry Springer or is this a Star Seeker? Is that what this is about? I almost thought you had a more professional reason for hating on me. Of course that's what this is about. Holy shit, she looks like a demon herself. Damn, girl. You stole what I deserved. Yeah, this is going to HR. No, this is between you and me, Fellini. It really ain't, Ryder. It's between me and Patty. Should we listen to this? It was her decision to get away from someone who was making her miserable. Liar. She loved me. And you flushed all that love down the toilet because you felt threatened by her accomplishments. A relationship ain't a contest. When she got promoted to chief, I didn't try to tell her she hadn't earned it. Guys, do we really need all this third act drama here? It's kind of coming out of nowhere and we're just... Quiet, wizard, this doesn't concern you. You're right, Ryder, it doesn't concern them. Let's not waste their time. We can see how Patty feels about keeping you on the force after this later. Oh! Right now, Seeker. Yeah? If you're right, then Statue Man's probably really nervous hearing we figured him out. There's a team outside to grab him if he wants, but he's got that mass arrest momentum spell, right? I bet he freezes anyone who tries to stop him. Meaning we need a plan of action here. And fast. You got some kind of dispel magic spell? Dude, that's not how magic works. Every spell is different, so countering them is always a custom job. Well, great. You want those empanadas? You do that custom job. Leave it to me, boss. Resume! Yeah. Well, I'll be. You were actually on the money, kid. Of course I was right. All I ever say is completely correct ideas. They ain't even slightly true, but I'll let it slide. Silence! You small-minded fools! you'd have done best to leave us be. Indeed, you confounded persistence will be your doom. Sorry, fellas, but Leo just gave me free reign, so... Astral Contingency Supreme, Whippersnapper, Mass Arrests. Momentum. There, let's go. Hold it, Clarence, they're not. Ultimate Dominion. God, let's retreat, Clarence. Portable hole. Ow, consummate, Julius. Some warning. How did you get in my house? Well, ma'am, ouch. Burglar! There's a burglar in my house. Clarence, I'm coming. You think so, huh? I'll just... Whoa. Supreme Ultimate Dominion, hold your horses. Ha, and now the mystery of Accelerozub makes his exit. Portable. Constitution saving throw, punk. Ma'am, I'm sorry. Magical hostile, 1 level down. Went through the floor. Close proximity to a civilian. Go. Seeker, you okay? Anyone get the number of that meteorite? Get up, kid. We got him. Case closed. Concrete criminal captured at achievement. Let's go, Steve. Oh, nice. I saved the day? Well, not quite. I tasered one of them, and a lady with a frying pan downstairs got the other. In fact, your little fireworks show accomplished absolutely nothing. Seriously? Well, I guess it bought me enough time to break out of the freeze. So you know what? Yeah, sure. You did good. Aha, of course I did. I'm Star Seeker. Can't give you an inch, can I? What can I say? Hold on. Huh? Yeah? Right, I'll be right there. I'll be right back. Boys downstairs need me for something. So, you and me, huh? Anything you want to say? Why did you help him? Okay? Paolini, why did you take his side? Why'd I do my job? If you want to put it like that, you're only being forced to do this because of him, right? He's the one who caught you and put an end to your magical mayhem. And yeah, he got me good. So why don't you hate him? Not really. He's the one who kept me out of jail too. So you can be his personal lackey, sure. You think it was out of the goodness of his heart? I mean, I guess not, but it was sort of a win-win. You didn't want any revenge on him? He's pretty chill for a cop, honestly, so no, I'm not feeling it. You don't know what he's like. If you knew the real, you don't know. Man, I don't know if I could trust you to be objective about that. We aren't going to see eye to eye yet. You better watch your back, Seeker. You're dead. You're dead meat if you get in my way. Is that so? Well, not if you get in his way first. I'll say it again. Watch yourself, wizard. Wida, the crew downstairs needs you to check out the broken window. Fine. Sick of tracking the fucking microscope. Ow, dudes. Yeesh, she's in a mood, huh? Yeah, I guess. So, you ready for those empanadas? All right, yeah, man. Just, go ahead, I'll catch up with you. Gotta catch my breath. Yeah, you took one heck of a bump on the head there. I'll be waiting. Oh, by the way, yeah? I just thought you'd like to know. Lightning Bolt Mind makes your hair frizz up a skosh when you use it. Not that I'd know firsthand or anything, just picked up that tidbit somewhere. You just thought I'd share a fun fact. I'm sure it ain't relevant at all. What, come on, Seeker, let's go get those empanadas. You earned them, fair and square. Yeah, I'll be right with you. Ah, he knew. Take the book. And take the blood. Perfect. Put it back, Seeker. Man, god damn it. Let me have my extra virgin blood. Oh, we forgot the goat. Are we just gonna leave the goat there? No, I guess we are. Oh, okay. Well, that was quick. That was fun. I had used hints a couple times. I saw someone saying online the strength of it, and I really do agree. The strength of it is the fact that, like, you notice when you're giving evidence, it gives you a different response for each evidence that you present to something, right? And I thought that, well, for most of them, and I thought that was very nice of them being like, oh, like, you know, you could present, like, let's say reversing Ho on, like, it's like, how did someone die? And they'd be like, oh, it's not reversing Ho because of this. Most mystery games, when you have, like, showing evidence, they'd be like, if you have something wrong, they'd be like, oh, that's not it. They'd be like, oh, that's not it. That's the wrong piece of evidence. You see that when you play, like, a Professor Layton game, right? I'm sorry, Professor Layton, an Ace Attorney game, right? When you present the wrong evidence, there's no, like, conversation about it, which makes sense, though, because they don't want to lead you into thinking something that's, you know, the right thing for a little bit before being like, that's wrong. But you can get away with that in, like, a smaller game like this. But in Ace Attorney, if you present wrong evidence, immediately you're like, oh, you'd be like, oh, detective, judge, the evidence is wrong. And they'd be like, I don't see how this evidence, literally the words, this evidence has anything to do with it, you know? And this, they'd be like, oh, what if we did this? And then the boss man would be like, what's it called? Fellini or whatever, would be like, oh, you know, I see what you're saying. This particular piece of evidence, we'll talk about this, but it doesn't work because this. And I thought that was a really good way to, like, be more organic with having a conversation with, like, the person you're talking to about, like, you know, doing deductions. So I think that's the biggest strength of this game. And what else was there? Nice humor, quick and easy. I had a couple of hints every now and then, but still pretty nice. Evidence gathering was simple. What else was there? It was a good, you know, train of thought in terms of logic. Overall, pretty good game. I wonder if people would expect to speedrun this. I mean, probably not, actually, when I think about it. But yeah, we're gonna finish now. It's sub, what, 2 hours? Damn, that was quick. There we go. Yeah, 108 minutes. Holy shit, that was the quickest game I've ever played. This is the quickest stream I've ever had. Let's see if we can find someone to raid, though. I'll skip that song for, like, oh, music. But yeah, that was super fun. I wish it's also cool because, like, I've had my idea for the mystery game I want to make, which is, like, you know, like, which involves magic, and this was a good, like, entrance into, like, playing a game that has to do with that. I have not played many games that are detective games that have to do with magic, because, you know, a big thing about magic games is that, like, really what mystery games is that you have to follow a train of logic, and you have to have a very strict train of logic and world building in order to make good sense of logic when you're dealing with things that could technically be considered illogical. So it was a good way of doing that. Oh, Seer's live. Let's go say hi to Seer. Let's do an old-fashioned Winton, right? There we go. But yeah, this is my last stream of the week. I mean, it's only tomorrow's last day of the week anyway. And then Monday, we're back with more Ace Attorney, which we're going to finish up. We're not going to have 2 Ace Attorney streams. We're going to finish that up. And then we're going to start maybe something new on Tuesday. And then on Thursday will be I may do Wednesday, do more Monster Hunter World if Jay and everyone are down for that. Thursday we're doing more Mists, and then I'll think of something for Saturday. I'm not sure what to do on Saturday. Saturday is always a wild card day, and I don't always have a stream, and I don't always have a game that's as short as this that can I easily just knock out. But yeah, this was fun. I have to think more about the game that I want to make now, because if I want to make a magical detective game, I want to have something like this and see how that works. Oh shoot, I missed the stream. Don't you worry, Leafy Sea Dragon. Also, welcome on in. I will be, my VOD's up for this, and it should be a fun watch, and it's only an hour, 2 hours long. But thank you for welcoming in, and we're gonna be waiting off to see you. Bye.